Dear students, today I am going to take a class on Middle English period of English literature. The Middle English period is the second period in the history of English literature. And the Middle English period started in 1066 and it continued up to 15th century, 1500th century. And many, critics are of the opinion that Middle English period continued up to 1550. Middle English period is also known as Anglo-Norman period because the most significant event of this period was Norman conquest. Norman conquest means the conquest from Normandy, the French coast. And therefore we can consider that the Norman conquest is the most significant event in the history of Middle English period, for which, Middle English period is also known as Anglo-Norman period. During the Middle English period, there were many trends of the Old English period which were still prevalent, such as, allegorical types of writings, such as, gloomy type of atmosphere, such as, pagan or secular types of poetry. These are the things which were still prevalent. But more things happened during the Elizabethan period, and we find for the first time the dominance of French literature and French vocabulary. The French literature and French vocabulary played a significant role to guide Middle English period, to guide the literature of the Middle English period. During the Middle English period, for the first time we find the representative types of poetry, and that is considered to be the original types of poetry. And the writers had attempted to focus on their original types of poetry without imitating the poems of other sources. And during this time we find the presence of the satiric type of poetry also, and a huge number of satiric poems had been written during this time. And during the Middle English period, for the first time there was the dominance of Christianity. For the dominance of Christianity, there was the theme of Bible. Different stories of Bible had been found to be the subject matter of literature. Theme of crucifixion is also considered to be the basis of literature during the Middle English period. And during the Middle English period, there was the, beginning of drama writing for the first time. And the morality plays, miracle plays, mystery plays had been originated during the, Middle English period or Anglo-Norman period. And the Renaissance spirit started during the Middle English period. And for this Renaissance spirit, in literature we find a types of, spirit of, exploration, spirit of conquest, which is also considered to be the basis of literature during this time. And during the Middle English period, actually, there was the beast fable, the writings based on the description of the life of the beast, description of the happenings in the life of the beast. And we find that the beasts are talking like the human beings during the Middle English period. And we also find different types of biblical writings during the early Middle English period. And there was also the prose type of writings, different type of voyages, travelings that we find during this period actually. And the continuation of the composition of homilies was also there. And during this period, we find the dominance of Geoffrey Chaucer. Though National University had excluded the age of Chaucer from Middle English period, but Geoffrey Chaucer was also the most significant writer of the Middle English period. And during the contemporary period of Chaucer, there was another writer named John Gower, who had also contributed a lot to shape the literature of the Middle English period. And another writer of the contemporary of Chaucer was William Langland. So these three writers are also the writers of the Middle English period. And English language got its footing, got its foundation during the Middle English period by taking influence from different sources. So we find many innovations during the Middle English period. And during the Middle English period, as we already mentioned, three writers such as Geoffrey Chaucer, John Gower, William Langland, and their contributions to English literature. They had a very much influential contribution to English literature. And apart from these three writers, there were other writers who had also contributed a lot during the Middle English period, such as, Sir John Mandeville. Sir John Mandeville had written his travel stories. And those travel stories formed the basis of prose type of writings, which was initiated by Sir John Mandeville. And Robert Manning was another writer who had also written during this time. Robert Manning had written Sinners, Beware, Handlying of Sins, and these are the prose types of writings which had been found to be the source of, moral teachings. And another writer named, Brother Monk Orme or Monk Orme. Monk Orme had written one famous writing named Ormula. And Richard Peacock had also written writings, and Richard Peacock had written, Arthur and Merlin, or the King Hall, during the Middle English period. Another important writer during this period was, Sir Thomas Malory. Thomas Malory had written King Arthur, and King Arthur is considered to be English mythology. So we find Greek mythology, Roman mythology, and also English mythology during the Middle English period. And English mythology had found its dominating position in literature for the first time in the Middle English period, as we find the writing of Thomas Malory as Morty the Arthur. And in Morty the Arthur, we find the mythology of King Arthur. Later on, many writers have followed King Arthur and his round table, which is a source of chivalry, heroism, bravery for later writers. So if we think about the Middle English period, then we will find that during the Middle English period, there was for the first time the origin of the original English literature, or beginning of original English literature. And that original English literature is the source of inspiration for many other writers up to the modern age. And that is why, Geoffrey Chaucer is considered to be the father of English poetry during the Middle English period. So I think if you try to follow my lecture, then it will be possible for you to understand the Middle English period and the characteristics of the Middle English period. One basic difference between Old English period and Middle English period is that in the Old English period, most of the poems were not known with the name of the writers. That is, the most of the poems are not, familiar with the name of the poets. But in the Middle English period, we find the name of the, modern name of the Middle English poets, such as, Geoffrey Chaucer is a very much famous poet, and he is considered the father of English poetry. And Chaucer had written many poems during this time, such as the House of Fame, the Lives of the Good Women, the Parliament of Fowls, Canterbury Tales, Nun's Priest's Tale, Troilus and Cressida. These are the poems that had been composed, written by, Geoffrey Chaucer. And John Gower had also written, many poems taken influence from different sources. Vox Calamantis. These are the things that have been written by John Gower. And William Langland had written The Pierce Plowman during the Middle English period. So we find that the Middle English period is actually very much rich, and this is rich in its originality. This is rich with the development of English grammar. This is rich with the development of original type of English poetry. This period is rich with the development of English prose also. This period is rich with the development of Christian type of poetry. This period is rich with the development of different type of ballad types of poetry. And this poetry is considered to be very much, significant for later poets. And so try to have the patient hearing to my lecture, and it will be possible for you to get better understanding of the literature of the Middle English period. Thanks to all of you for your patient hearing.